Welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships Podcast. I'm your host, Giovanna Burgess-White, with my co-host.
Almost Happy New Year. I'm Yvette Valdenegro.
Welcome to December. We are in the first week of December. I can't even believe it. It is the last month of our third season of the podcast.
That's incredible.
I know we're going to celebrate. We just came off of gratitude, and I think we should just take a moment, cheers our coffee, whatever you're drinking, and cheers to season 3. We have 4 more episodes left, and we are bringing you a 3-part series called Turn Your Resolutions into Results. We're going to do mini-series like we've been doing all year, and we just wanted to kind of have a little coffee chat and talk about New Year's resolutions. Do you like them? Do you hate them? What are they for you? None for me, but just get into it. So there's going to be 3 parts. They're going to be mini. We're going to give you some little education, little statistics, but we're also just going to talk about you in the new year.
And a little goofy fun. Okay, first, we'll go back to what you just said about the 3 years. Very grateful, Gio. Listen, if anybody just for fun, can go find any of our first podcasts that we ever started, grab a bottle of wine, and I'm sure you'll be tickled to, hopefully you'll think that we graduated at least a little bit.
Go binge. And just to be on the podcast actually started in 2018, back in the day. So it'll be 5 years and 3 years with you. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like going through all the podcast art and all this, just going back, and I was like, oh my God, Just Engage University was really the first baby of all this being born back in 2018. And 2024, we have some new things coming, new look, new vibe, new way of podcasting. So just stay tuned.
But the funny thing is, so if someone went back and looked, and they would see how we did it, and hopefully seeing the progression of adding on more, taking away, doing different styles. Like, for one, everybody out there, it's a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress, but I really love it. Then secondly, this series, I think, is going to be the first that our amazing tech behind the scenes people that work so hard for us, we're actually showing video clips on these 3 series. And I will say this, listen, number one, everybody knows who listens to us. We're very serious about what we do and what we teach, and incorporating not just what we're teaching to everyone else, but in our own lives. Absolutely. I like to say again, because we're in it just like everybody else. What was I going to go with that? Oh, the evolution of watching this change, right? I don't even know where I was going to go with that, to be honest. I got stuck on the whole, like, what we're doing. But anyway, I'm excited that we're going to do these. Oh, I know what I was going to say, because the flip side of us is we listen, life is not meant to be so damn serious that we are so uptight. So there's going to be historical things that we're talking about. We're going to talk about ourselves, and we're going to throw in some videos from our amazing tech team that are some of them are a little bit goofy, but they're meant to make you happy and just relax about the whole resolution thing, because I feel like this topic gets people almost subliminally anxious.
Yes, 100% yes. I hate it. I don't like the topic. I never talk about it. I'm like,
okay, you said earlier you didn't do resolutions.
Our household is not a resolution household. We don't do it. I think it's so weird that you're like, why do you have to start in January? It's like the fiscal year. Like, why does it have to start in January? Why can't you just do what you want to do? We're also coaches, so I think that even in the last 3 to 5 years, it totally makes more sense now why they don't work and why we're talking about it in the series. But we didn't grow up like that. I'm from Mexico City. That's not a thing. It's crazy because even New Year's here, it's celebrated differently around the world. Everyone celebrates New Year's, but it's completely different. And I remember our tradition for New Year's Eve was getting 12 grapes. It's so weird. And like a bucket of water, everyone gets a glass of water, and they like throw away all the crap from one year, and then you eat 12 grapes. It's 12 grapes for the next 12 months. And you kind of just wish or are grateful for those 12 grapes. And I used to think it was so weird that my parents would do this. Like right at midnight, we would go outside, we would throw out the water. So it's like throw everything out from the year before and then eat the 12 grapes and be grateful for what's to come. I don't know where we picked it up. I don't know if it's a Spanish thing, a European thing, a Mexican thing. It's just something that it's always been. And that's been our New Year's. We spend New Year's together. as a family when I was in all the way through high school. Now my kids they celebrate New Year's with me, just coming into the New Year's with them. But there is no like resolutions and goals and pressure. Like if anything, it's just like a refresh. I don't want to start the new, even like when people are like Q1 and goals and it's like slow your roll. You're coming off of like a very, very stressful season. So that's the white W squared household, how we do. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm more the traditional, what we would say, American. My mom and well, I just remember when you were younger, we would watch the ball drop from the that TV show, the New York City, with Dick Clark.
Dick Clark, yeah, Dick Clark.
That was the big thing. But my mom and dad would definitely go out.
Yeah.
And then they'd leave us at home. But as we got older, we were either given like sparkling water or like sparkling grape juice, and then at a certain age, then they'd be like, okay, you guys can have some champagne or whatever. But okay, my parents were different. It was like, it wasn't necessarily like, what are your goals, but more think through like, what would you like to anticipate? What do you want for the new year? Or just be thinking through like, and how are you going to, I don't know, kind of a good thing that having parents, I guess, that were already kind of instilling like, what are you working towards? Like not like in your face, but like excited for the new year. And I will say this, I always like a reset. I love resets. I love pushing the button over. Yeah. I do like the aspect of, hey, that's a year, 2023, the minute it turns over. And actually, like, I'm with you though, Gio. I'm more like, I feel like 2023 is already over in my mind. My hopes, my expectations, everything has already set into what to expect for next year. But I do like the thought of, hey, this is almost like a take a breath, reset, and the freshness of like, hey, let's just do this. But we do want to share, because I think it's kind of interesting when you really look back, and this goes back to so many traditions in our culture, not just holidays, like why we celebrate things, but why we're taught certain things, and that becomes the norm of our culture and standard. And this is such a good example of, where did this even begin and how did it even evolve? And so the history goes back to basically the Babylonians would do it as like a pledge to their gods as before they went into the harvest season of what the expectations were for the harvest and what they pledged that they were going to do with it. Yeah. Great. I love it. But how did that transform into every single year on December 31st? You have a long list of stress things that more than likely, and we're going to get in the statistics, you're not ever going to accomplish.
It's like you go into New Year already stressing out about it. It's like I get anxious for other people who are like doing that. I'm like, why? Like, just chill, take a chill pill, relax. Like you said, right now I feel like we're really into reflection mode and gratitude. Like the year's done. Like there's not anything that we're doing except for maybe for ourselves, which I think is great. In the business and with like spending time with our families and stuff like that. But like, it's December. There is no, this goal needs to get done that I put at January, and it's not, because I can only imagine the stress of like not achieving the goals that you set forth. So let's talk a little bit about, we talked about the history. I'm going to get our tech team.
So while our tech team behind the scenes is getting this set up, again, you guys, this is just a cute little video. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is just, and we're going to do 3 videos, 1 per part. And this one is more, I put this first because this really is the more childlike, cheesy, but how about this? Everybody just open up their child right now and just enjoy the moment of thinking about, from a different perspective, New Year's resolutions.
Run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you. And for once, never wonder what they're worth. I'll borrow this one.
That one? But you read it twice.
Well, it's my favorite. Laces, daring sword fights, magic spells, a prince in the sky. The pear-shaped toad.
Oh, sing, sweet nightingale, sing,
sweet nightingale high above me.
So, you want to do something tonight?
Definitely. Oh no, I can't. Honest? How about tomorrow?
Deal.
I've been looking out a window for 18 years, dreaming about what it might feel like when those lights rise in the sky.
All those days, chasing down a daydream.
That's Geo driving.
He's not.
I have been a lot of things. They may not all be true. My experience was so mysterious till I met you.
That's what I call a me naked puppy.
But Peter, how do we get to Neverland?
Fly, of course.
Fly?
It's easy. Watch me now. Here I go. It's easier than fly.
He can fly! He can fly!
Isn't that cute? Okay, I like that for so many. When I saw it, I loved it for so many reasons. One, it was we put so much stress on ourselves to come up with these humongous goals. And we're going to talk about that. That's why we usually don't accomplish them, because they're too big. But even Disney captures the simplicity of, how about we just stick with some really great basics? I love a new friend. Like, that's something everybody can work towards. Spending more time with your family.
All of those were self. Like, literally had nothing to do with exercise and my body and eating. It was like all the things that make you feel good that you don't give yourself time to do, but the result, the end game is you will be better physically, mentally, emotionally. And what we'll do, which Yvette doesn't know because we didn't even talk about it, is these 10, we're going to actually, when we do the show notes, we'll do how does that translate really in our world as women? It's like enjoying nature, obviously being outside, doing the things, planning a vacation, dreaming again. That's what we talk about, our, now goals and our words of the year. So what does the 10 Disney, and a lot of them have fun. Hey, that was my favorite, Enneagram 7 here. I'm like, that's me all day, every day. And sometimes I do drive like what's it? His name is Mater Tater.
That's how I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, but have fun is on the list. Like that. How fun would that be to just be like, my New Year's resolution this year is just to have fun? Like, you know how many different ways of having fun there can be? Call me. Shoot me a DM. I'll tell you all the fun ways. But like planning trips, that is not selfish, you guys. Look how I was just excited watching the Disney Top 10, and I've already watched it 3 times. So we'll do that in the show notes. Go back and watch that. Like, what does that even mean to you? We would love to hear from you guys. Which ones stuck out? I know mine were like 10, 4, 2, and 1, I think, were the ones that stuck out. But like, what does that mean to you? So go back and watch. I think that's why we totally did that. And then every part 2 and part 3, we're going to have a completely different video for you. So let me get our.
Right. Did you already listen or watch the other videos?
No.
Okay, good. But you saw that one prior before we got, dang it, Gio. And I will say, she totally trusts me to come up with all this crazy crap. But when I found these videos are like, they're so stinking on point, and I cannot wait. Everybody listen, you have to watch part 2. I mean, it's gonna, like, in so many ways, it's just amazing. But okay, anyway. So Listen, this is like we just said in the very beginning.
From that slide to this slide, I'm like, ew.
It's yes, because look, that poor woman is just going at it and going at it. So, and here's the thing, I marvel at this, that 38% of the adults set New Year's resolutions every single year. Let's just round that up to 40. So 40% of all people are actually setting New Year's resolutions. And I thought it was going to be higher. In my head, I'm like, is that 40% of people actually say they are?
No, because you know why? Like United States of America is now, there's like even Texas is over 50% Hispanic. It's not a thing. It's not a cultural thing. So now as we grow in the United States, I believe it.
Okay, but here's the thing, 59%, which is 60, let's just say that young adults 18 to 34 have New Year's resolution. They're the largest demographic. That really shocked me. And in my head, I was like, what the heck? I'm sorry, the 18 to 34 years old. What as we, as the generation above them, because that's our generation, taught them that's even higher than what we're doing. That's interesting. I don't know the psychology behind that, that goes above my pay grade, but I thought that was a very interesting statistic. Then almost half of the people that are making resolutions are all about their exercise.
It's so crazy to me. I have an exercise story when we're done with this.
Okay. Which I get. I do like the fact that people actually want to think about their health.
Yeah.
And they're refocused, like, hey, if this is the thing in my life that I really need to concentrate on first, but I would venture to say most times, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on toes. No, sorry, not sorry, that health is important and it's absolutely should be considered, but what is your motivation behind? Because a lot of times if you ask yourself why, especially we women, right? Oh, well, I'm just, my news was I got to lose like 50 pounds because of, I want everybody to think I'm incredible, or I have to fit in that one dress. Or it's like, but why do you have to fit in the one dress? Because I'll just look better. Well, why do you have to look better? Because then I'll be more accepted.
Yeah.
Now that motivation, eventually you're going to find, wow, that's going to crumble, because if that's truly what your motivation is internally, you go, I feel more accepted if I were to lose 50 pounds. It's not the weight that is causing you to feel unaccepted. It's your mindset that needs to be worked on. Okay.
I'll tell my exercise story when we're done with steps.
Okay. The 23%, that's almost a quarter of the people quit within the first week. So that dire thing had to be set up, completely falls off the map within 1 week. And 36 people make it only to the first month. So that's a third of all the people.
Only 9% make it to the whole year. It's like crazy to me. Even if we run it to 10%, I'm like, wow, it's all that stress.
And you know what? When you start, this is usually what people do when they start off, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, it'll be great. And you're all excited and you feel good. Well, imagine that means that 92% of all the people who started something didn't finish. And guess what? They tanked somewhere along the line. And I felt this way. You don't feel real good about yourself when you don't accomplish the goal, because internally, you know that you're disappointing yourself, because there is something inside of you that says you want whatever it is that you are working towards. Totally. Okay. What's your story?
Okay. So I'll come back to this slide. Story is, for those of you guys who know me, don't like to work out. You guys, I literally did it, got the t-shirt, Letterman jacket, like ran cross country, played soccer for over a decade, was in the shape of my life. And then I'm just active, and I have very high metabolism, and literally just within the steps that I get every single day, like I don't really need to go to the gym. But crazy story. Went to Croatia, came back, had lost 3 pounds, which I was like, great, we're eating healthy, we're on the water, like, that makes sense. But then, and I don't normally weigh myself, right? Because I don't even think our thing works in our bathroom, but my clothes weren't fitting me. Like, they were too big on me. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. I'm not trying to lose weight. And then it just got worse. Like, all my clothes are just not fitting. Everything's huge. So finally I had to make the decision to be like, this is a health decision. This isn't I can't wait to get to the gym and go work out. So plug to Kim Lubes. I was like, hey, I finally had a serious conversation with her. And I said, what do I need to do? Because it's like something's wrong. Like, I can't keep on losing weight like this. And it's crazy because when I go to the gym and work out with her and her clients, it's like, I'm the opposite of what everybody else is working towards. But it wasn't ever a New Year's resolution. it took something that drastic to happen, which I think that really is the mindset of health. We wait for something to go wrong. And crazy enough, it hasn't been hard in the like I was like worried about going back because I haven't been in a gym in so long or even worked out with people. It's not hard. Like when I go there, I actually feel a lot better. But man, talk about my time, because it's time. It's like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to do that, because you have to get ready, you have to get in the car, you have to. So now not only is it my health, it's also my time management. And obviously in the season in life that I am right now and with everything that's happening, it really has been such a shift in my lifestyle. But I know that that's something that I need to do, but never did I think I was going to get to really the health part of it because of what just happened, like the trigger of the events that just happened in the last, 4 or 5 months. So it's crazy, but it was never like, oh, I'm going to 2024, I'm going to go work out with Kim and I'm going to look great next year. Like that wasn't the purpose behind it. And so I hope the series helps when you're thinking about like, what do I need to do for myself? You may not even want to use the word resolution because it's not, but it's like the priorities for yourself next year. What is that? And hopefully those 10 help, because there's something in there that you're probably like, oh, I want to do that, or that means this to me. So that's my exercise too.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's very relatable. I love it.
Okay. Well, This is our last one. So top 5 New Year's resolutions. Go.
Okay. We're from bottom to the top. No, actually, we already talked about the number 1 New Year's resolution that everybody always does is the exercise. Then the second one is, hey, they want to eat healthier. Then third is wanting to lose weight, all related to health.
Yep.
Right. And our bodies. Then the fourth is people wanting to save more money. There's your money. And then pursue a career ambition. I thought that was so interesting. So the first 3 are all about health, and then it turns into money, which is usually a concern, and then turning into pursue a career ambition. Well, to me, that kind of triggered you wanting to pursue something because you're not quite satisfied with the way it is, right? So interesting that we're living lives again where these things are not quite where they want them to be, career ambition being number 5 on the list. That means all the people that are out there, when they're talking, they're like, yeah, it's still my career. I don't really know what I'm doing. I want to start this, but maybe I shouldn't. Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to add this onto my resume? Whatever it is, do I want to expand myself? Do I want to start another company? Do I want to invest in here? But that is what people are thinking about.
It's crazy. I think that's our last slide for this. Yeah. So next week we'll have part 2, which is turning your resolutions into results. Part 2. How are we going to do these things? I didn't watch the video, so I won't watch them. I'll be surprised next week when we do our show. But I hope this has helped. This is actually a little bit longer than what we normally do, but I'm fine with it because it's the last month of the year. And for those of you guys who don't know us, I feel like you got to know us a little bit more in this episode. We do go live every Wednesday, and we are going to stick with that schedule next year. I know you guys are so worried about like what's happening next year. Don't worry. We'll still be live next year every Wednesday, but we just have a new way. We have a new format, new way. And if you're watching us for the first time, welcome. If you're listening to us for the first time, welcome. Anywhere you're listening, watching, there's links to schedule a consultation with us. If you are already like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed, I don't even know what to do, this is for you. It's for you to just talk about what you need. We have an amazing little questionnaire. It's a free consultation. We love to see you, hear you. And we have tons of tools, resources, books, all the things, anything that you need from us is on our website. So you can click those links, reach out to us if you have any questions. If you went back and watched the 10, I want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you thought. What did you relate to? What are you going to connect the top 10 from Disney to your real life? So we'll be back next week. Until then.
Bye.